Okay. Oh, perfect. Live on both streams. All right. We are live on both Instagram and YouTube. Welcome back, everyone, to my page. It is Monday, so time for another installment of Decoding How to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy by Paul Chek. That's right. We are decoding the book, How to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy. I'm a licensed holistic lifestyle coach and exercise coach, and I'm here to give you the codes on how to live healthy. That means free of dis-ease and discomfort. Typically, I do this decoding series in the mornings, but this morning I was booked and busy. So I'm here in the afternoon, and hopefully this will give you more time to join in on the live. Again, I'm live on both Instagram and YouTube, and we are about to get into it. All right, so we've spoken about so many things so far, from nutrition to sleep to hydration, and now we're working on movement, overstanding the kind of movement that you need to be healthy. Are you too young? Are you already flooded with cortisol and stressed out? Do you need to be doing more energy cultivating movements like Tai Chi, Qigong, Yin Yoga, walking meditations and things like that? Or are you too sedentary? Maybe you're not experiencing any particular goal to kind of fuel you and give you the energy to make a move, to do something and go somewhere. Then you know that you're a little bit too yin and you need yang. So maybe you should be looking at a membership at a gym. Anyways, we are continuing on with the whole concept of movement and what's right for you. We're going to get into things like sets, reps, tempo, and all the rest of that. It's going to be pretty general, right? So again, if you can, you should consult with a Chek practitioner. But given the scope of how general these guidelines are, most people will find themselves to be more than okay because everything is very accessible and designed to be that way. So Abraham Lincoln once said, "Always bear in mind that your own resolution to succeed is more important than any other thing." So marinate on that. What does that mean to you? What is it that you need in order to succeed? And is succeeding the most important thing to you? And success can come in different factors of our lives, right? Success doesn't have to mean in your workplace. Success doesn't have to mean in terms of your finances. Success could very much mean something like your marriage, or your relationship with your sibling, or your relationship with God. Success could mean anything. Are you living the life of your dreams? Are you practicing that which is important to you, that which feeds your soul, right? So success can look many different ways. Success does not have to be about professional career goals and orientations. If you're excited about starting your new exercise program, don't worry. Oh, no. Let me reread that. All right, guys. So in chapter 10, page 167, putting it all together. I hope you're excited about starting your new exercise program. And if not, don't worry. I've developed something for everyone because exercise should never introduce stress into your life. If you don't like to exercise, read on to learn about a no workout routine. Now let's look at how to implement the plan that's right for you using chapter 2 as your guide. Regardless of the level of exercise you have chosen, you'll no doubt find yourself pressed for time on occasion. In order to ensure you perform the most important part of your routine, always prioritize your workout in the following order. The no workout routine. The energy building exercises would be number 2. Number 3 would be stretching. Number 4 would be restore core function. And number 5 would be functional exercise. That would be the order. Remember, exercise places stress on the body. If you don't cultivate enough energy through proper eating, water consumption, sleeping, and energy building exercises, a traditional approach to exercise will do nothing but break you down. Simply restoring energy balance and flow through the body, which you can find more info on Chapter 8, along with eating and drinking correctly, which we've spoken about in Chapters 3 and 4, will take you a long way toward your health and vitality. Fitness fanatics. If you're an active person who regularly exercises and takes time to do zone exercises just seems like it's too slow for you, then please consider the following. If your exercise routine is so intense that you could not comfortably perform it with a stomach full of food, your hormonal and nervous system produces a stress response, activating your sympathetic nervous system. While this may feel right in the short term, you may be addicted to the endorphin release from this form of exercising. Though exercise is not a bad thing, Though exercise is not a bad thing to be addicted to, problems will arise if you suffer from nagging injuries or if the total score from your questionnaires is above 260. If your total score for the questionnaires is 260 or above, no matter how much you like exercising, you're probably doing more harm than good with high intensity exercises. Your primal goal at this point should be to lower your total stress score to below 150. When your score is below 150, your body will respond more favorably to high intensity exercise. You must remember that being fit and being healthy are not necessarily synonymous. This is why elite athletes die at an early age. Pause. Marinate on that. You can balance your energy systems quite effectively by stretching the tight muscles identified in the stretching test outlined in Chapter 5. If you don't want to perform zone exercises or active meditations as a means of energy balancing, at least make sure that you stretch. That's always key. And by the way, the exercises, again, the stretch test is available along with some additional information, such as the questionnaire, that's what I was referring to a moment ago when we were speaking about your scores from your health appraisal questionnaire. That questionnaire can be found on the website for Eat, Move, and Be Healthy. So if you go to eatmoveandbehealthy.com, you'll have the questionnaire there, and then you will know where you are in that spectrum. And if you're already too young, too stressed out, you know that you need to be working on movement that cultivates energy and revitalizes you. And conversely, if you're at 150 or below, it means you can afford to rev it up, and you should do in order to get the most out of your movement. And that, people, is what we would call working smarter and not harder. You may want to stretch to balance your energy systems and develop your own program based on the guidelines in this chapter. However, make sure that the exercises you develop match the program scheme indicated by your total score. Those scoring above 260 should exercise in line with the Energizer program, pages 175 to 177. Whilst those scoring 150 to 260, you should choose the Vitalizer program, which is on pages 178 to 182. If you decide to use stretches to balance your energy systems and use outdoor activities or sports participation and practice as your exercise, just be aware that if your exercise intensity is taking more out of your body than your eating and resting plan are putting in, your scores will not go down in the next 4 weeks. In fact, I have seen overzealous athletes elevate their scores by working too hard to become fit and ending up unhealthy. The balanced athlete is a healthy athlete. If you're pressed for time and can only perform 1 or 2 exercises, choose the exercises that most suit your needs. For example, if your lower abdominal muscles protrude and you scored high in the digestion or fungus and parasites health questionnaires in the graph on page 37, also available on the actual website for Eat, Move, howtoeatmoveandbehealthy.com. Again, eat, not how, sorry guys, eatmoveandbehealthy.com. Again, that's eatmoveandbehealthy.com. You can get the questionnaires there so you know whether you are, needing to, again, perform movement that energizes you versus performing movement that vitalizes you. So, again, so if you get that, if you go through the questionnaires, which is again in the book and on the website, you'll get more mileage from performing an exercise such as the 4-point tummy tuck vacuum than you will from the cable pull. Again, based on your score, the 4-point tummy vacuum activates your natural body pumps, aiding your digestion, eliminating and activating the lazy TVA. And if you only have time to stretch or do zone exercises, choose the activity that will provide the most benefit to your body at that time. If your body feels tight and restricted, then stretching will be most helpful. While if your questionnaire scores are high in one or more categories, performing zone exercises will then be more beneficial. The no workout routine. Ugh. Even though the thought of a zone exercise is a drag. It goes on to say, if you honestly don't have the get up and go to perform one zone exercise without feeling stressed, that's okay. However, you do need to work on getting your energy up. The energizing exercises on page 104 to 116 will help to revitalize you. Perhaps you're one of the people with an excessively hectic schedule, and trying to fit extra activities will actually stress you even more. You realize, however, that if you're truly dedicated to improving your health, you need to make changes and create time for yourself each and every day. Besides, an improved drinking and eating plan, your best solution can be found in two places: the parking lot and the stairs. Welcome to the no workout workout. Park your car toward the end of the parking lot wherever you go. In some shopping centers, this could mean walking as much as a quarter mile around the trip, not including distance inside the building. This simple plan can equate to a mile a day. Promise yourself not to take the elevator or escalator unless you have to carry something heavy. If you work in a high-rise office building and have to travel between floors throughout the day, this little plan alone could significantly increase your metabolic rate, moving you ever closer to your desired body shape. Also realize that your metabolic rate increases, that as your metabolic rate increases, your ability to metabolize toxins, move fluids through your body, and eliminate waste also improve. How to build your own program. How to eat, move, and be healthy program is a very flexible one. You can do as much or as little as you want. The main goal is to improve your health and vitality. Undoubtedly, the various levels of stress, fitness, and vitality amongst readers will require tremendous versatility in program design. In order to effectively accommodate each of your needs, it's important to follow the instructions below for optimal results. If you haven't already completed your questionnaire and graphed out your scores, please do so now. Your total score is very important as it determines the program intensity that is right for you. The intensity zones are as follows. If you scored between 0 and 150, high vitality body, this is a high vitality body that can handle stressors up to the performance program. Example number 2, if you scored between 151 and 259, moderately stressed body that should exercise at the vitalizer program intensity or lower. 260 or greater. This is a high stress zone, indicating that any exercise program of greater intensity than the energizer program is likely to further stress the body and prevent you from attaining health and vitality. If you are in this zone, do not exercise at all, if you're in this zone and don't exercise at all or are experiencing discomfort somewhere in your body, then you should start with the Tender Love and Care, the TLC program on page 172. Exercise selection. Sample programs are provided for each of the intensity levels above. After 6 to 8 weeks, you'll need to modify your program in order to stimulate your body and progress to the next level. And of course, you may decide to design your own program from the start. The first step toward modifying or building a program is choosing the right exercises for your needs. The colored boxes by each exercises on pages 137 to 156 identify the difficulty level or levels of the exercise. You will notice that some exercises have multiple levels of difficulty. Such exercises can be made more difficult by performing the advanced variation, adding more weight, or increasing the speed. When you select new exercises for your program, always begin your routine by placing your most challenging exercise at the beginning. For example, a multi-directional lunge is more complex and thus more demanding of the nervous system than a squat. And so therefore it should be performed before the squat in most cases. An exception to this rule is when you have a harder time performing a less complex exercise than you do a more complex exercise. For example, perhaps squats are difficult for you due to a previous back injury or weakness, yet you have the multi-directional lunge ease because you have a background in tennis. If so, put the exercise that is most challenging for you first in your program. Any of the corrective or isolating exercises, such as the lower abdominal exercises or the 4-point tummy vacuum, should always be last in the order of exercises when more complex movements such as primal pattern exercises are being used. I use 5 exercises in the sample programs primarily because when performed in a circuit format, you can finish the program, including stretching beforehand, in under 1 hour. Performing more exercises generally requires more time and makes your strength development more diffuse. So should I use the circuit or station format? Great question. The sample programs are all in a circuit format. This means that you'll perform one set of each exercise back to back. The rest of the design time, then rest for the designated time and repeat the circuit. Doing so enables you to complete your entire workout, including stretching, within an hour. Since you'll be doing a lot of work in a short period of time, circuit training is effective for increasing your metabolic rate. Station training is ideal if you don't have the strength or endurance to go from one exercise to the next without resting, or if you want increased strength in a given primal pattern. Let me reread that, guys. Since training is ideal if you don't have the strength station training is ideal if you don't have the strength or endurance to go from one exercise to the next without resting, or if you want increased strength in a given primal pattern. For example, if you're a tennis player who wants to develop a more explosive lunge pattern, you'll benefit from alternating your workout structure so that your lunge sets are done back to back with a rest period in between. This will cause a greater level of fatigue in the nervous system and muscles involved in the lunge pattern, making you become stronger in the lunge pattern more quickly than by using a circuit workout. Did that make sense, guys? My guess is this is how Serena Williams trains. I'm sure she has a Czech practitioner. Program variables. To design your own exercise routine, to design your own exercise. Shall we try that again, y'all? Yeah, I think we shall. To design your own exercise routine using the exercises and principles of your Eat, Move, and Be Healthy program, you'll need a basic understanding of acute exercise variables such as rest, intensity, repetitions, tempo, and sets. The following section will explain how to use each of the variables correctly so you can achieve the desired outcome. Beginning with rest. Rest is the amount of time taken to rest between exercises or a circuit of exercises. If you're attempting to increase muscle mass or elevate your metabolic rate, keep rest periods short, between 60 to 90 seconds. This rule applies to both station training and circuit training because the longer you rest, the more your metabolic rate slows, and the less work volume you compete in a given time period. However, if you cannot recover from successive exercise during circuit workouts or station training workouts, then increase your rest periods. The key concern is your exercise form. If the form deteriorates because you are trying to do more than you can handle, the chance of injury will escalate. Take as much time as you need to rest so that you can complete your next set with good form. If you need more time than 5 minutes of rest in a station format, stop the exercise and move to the rest. Move to the next. This would be a signal that your body is too fatigued to continue. If you begin a circuit format with a 1-minute rest and feel that you're just too fatigued to perform with good form when you start your next circuit, then increase your rest time. You may need to do this with each circuit. I often use an ascending rest period, which means that I increase the rest by a given increment, such as 30 seconds each circuit, to accommodate fatigue and maintain good form. When performing more advanced programs, such as the performance program, you may need to increase the rest between circuits because the exercises are complex enough that the nervous system may not recover during a shorter rest period. If an exercise is fairly intense, the nervous system takes about 5 to 6 times longer to recover than the muscular system. This is why people in the gym or in sports training often feel like they've rested long enough after a minute or two, but when they go back to performing the exercise or drill, they cannot perform it well. The risk of injury, they're at risk of injury because the nervous system needs time to recover. Intensity. Intensity is generally intensity. Let's first define it, shall we? A measure of applied strength relative to maximum strength. So a measure of applied strength relative to maximum strength. Okay. Intensity is generally recorded as a percentage of your 1 rep max, which is the maximum amount of weight that you could lift. To simplify this concept, I'll use a safe rep range as -2 as in the intensity column. This indicates that once you have completed the prescribed number of repetitions in the reps column, you should always feel as if you could complete the program an additional rep or 2 as indicated. For example, if the program calls for 10 reps and the intensity is -2, you should choose a level of resistance that allows for 12 reps to be performed with perfect form, but only complete the 10 reps recommended. The more advanced exercisers who are already in pretty good shape can use this rule to apply to the first set or circuit only. This is because as you fatigue, you'll get to the point where your body can only perform 10 reps with good form anyway, whilst those with less conditioning may fatigue so rapidly that they may have to reduce the load resistance of each set or circuit to maintain perfect form and stay in the given rep range. If you cannot perform the prescribed number of reps, decrease the weight or select an easier version of the exercise. On the other hand, if you feel like you could perform several more reps after you completed the set, then you should increase the intensity by adding more weight or progressing the exercise. Defining reps. Reps are the number of times you repeat a given exercise in a movement in a set. Again, I repeat, reps. The number of times you repeat a given exercise or movement in a set. Repetitions is the number of times you repeat a given exercise of movement in a set, 1 round of the exercise. Generally, if you want to add muscle mass, you should perform 8 to 12 repetitions. For strength and endurance, you should work in a 12 to 20 rep range. And as you go beyond 20 repetitions in a set, you're progressively increasing endurance and will therefore develop less strength or muscle mass. Tempo, the pace at which you execute an exercise. Tempo is the pace at which you execute the exercise. The programs included in this book will use the following tempos. Slow would be 1, 2, 3, count in each direction. 1, 2, 3, pause. 1, 2, 3, right? Or moderate, 1, 2, or you could go fast. Completion of each phase of the movement in 1 second or less, but not as fast as you could possibly can or explosively. Defining sets. Sets, the completion of the prescribed number of reps for a given exercise. A set is the completion of the prescribed number of repetitions for a given exercise. If you have an exercise that is performed on each side, a single arm cable pull, for example, perform the given number of reps on each side of your body. As a reminder, the reps will be written as 8 to 12 each. You'll notice that 2 numbers in the sets column, such as 1, 4, this means that you should begin your exercise program by performing only 1 set of the exercise. As you progress from workout to workout, you can increase the number of sets as you feel that you can tolerate it. You'll begin to increase the number of sets when you begin your next workout and are not sore from your last training session. You should always feel as if you could do better than the previous workout. Otherwise, don't increase the number of sets. Periodization. Periodization is a system of applying the principles of work and rest. Your sample programs are periodized using a method called undulation. Undulation means that some days will be harder, whilst others, they will be easier. This week's will also undulate. Your program should get progressively harder for the first few weeks, followed by an easy week at the end of that phase in order to let your body recover. If you build your own program, simply follow the periodization scheme used for the sample programs to achieve optimal results. For example, just be sure not to start at an advanced level. Do not start your exercise program by using the scheme of applied to the 4th week because it's likely to be too demanding on your body as a new program. Test your body by starting at week 1 and move forward from there to the point that feels right, given your adequate stress and recovery for your current level of conditioning. A periodization schedule is given for each of the sample programs. Colored bars representing the different exercises are used for each day. Yellow will represent yellow will represent stretching for all of the programs and should be done daily. The colors indicate which exercises of your program should be done on a given day. Follow the variables in the table as shown for each exercise. The full program is set up in a circuit format. If you are not performing all of the exercises, just circuit the ones that you are doing for that day. On each day, perform only the activities that relate to the color shown and always perform them in the order of the color presentation. Stretching is recommended every single day. You should perform additional zone exercises also on any day. If you would like a full assessment and a personalized program, consult a Czech practitioner at www.chalkinstitute.com for one near you, or reach out to me. I'm also a Czech practitioner. Using the sample programs. To make things easy for you, 4 sample programs, 1 for each intensity level, are provided on the following pages. Each program contains 4 to 5 exercises. Follow the variables given in the table for each exercise. The column with different color blocks is your periodization schedule. Note that there are blocks for each day of the week for 4 weeks. Each block labeled S, A, B, or C corresponds to the exercises you are to perform each day. The boxes are color-coded to match the boxes on the left containing a picture of the exercise for that block. You will do your stretches every day. For some days, you will only do your stretching and 1 or 2 other exercises, whilst on other days, you will perform all of the exercises, as a brief description of each exercise is also provided. Good luck and have fun. And so the programs are available in this book, so you would need to purchase How to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy in order to be able to sample these particular programs that are, again, very, very general and put together by sort of very skilled Czech practitioners in order to suit anyone and really at any place that they are in their lives, right? If they're not excited enough versus if they are too excited. So I won't be going into that because that's quite detailed. which really kind of brings us to chapter 11 at this point. That's going to be it, I think, for chapter 10. So thank you all for tuning back in. I hope that you got something out of this. As you know, questions are always welcome in either the comment section or you can DM me. If you're not on my YouTube, please come on over. Come on over. Come on over, baby, to YouTube and find me over here. Okay, on that note, signing off. Until next time, bye-bye.